Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Bizchicks TV. This is a place for tips, tools, strategies, and everything you need to take the hassle out of your hustle. Today is Tuesday. The digital diva is in the house. Terry Johnson, online from New York City, is going to bring us the greatest, the latest, and whatever we need for social media and digital marketing. So get your pen and paper, take notes. You've got that new iPad, bring out the pencil. Let's get to work. So, TJ, take it away.
Good morning, everybody. Hello, and welcome to this week's marketing talk. So, this week's marketing talk, what do we do here? We talk about marketing trends, marketing strategies, marketing tips, things that you need to know to help you navigate this and confusing and I'm trying to think of another word, but it's confusing world of online social media marketing, whatever you want to call it, because we're doing everything online. So if you haven't gotten the memo, get the memo now. Everything is online. We no longer go to the mall. We no longer go to in IRL, in real life stuff. Well, there's people that do it, but mostly we've discovered, thanks to the pandemic, the convenience of online everything. So that means you have a phone. Most of the world has a smartphone. We talked about, that's why I bring you the data, I bring you the numbers to show you the market saturation of having a smartphone. Now, I'm not saying that 100% of the world has it. That's not true. But most of the world that shops and they do things online, they use their phone even more so than the desktop. It's convenient, it's in your hand. Something pops up and tells you, oh, 50% off. Because I don't know if you have Woot, WOOT. Does anybody know about Woot, the Woot app?
I've seen it, but never. I've seen
Mm-hmm.
information about it, but don't know what it is.
Okay, so I said that because when I pick up my phone, Woot pops up. It's WOOT. It's an app from I'm not sure who started it, but Amazon bought it. It's daily deals. Daily deals. They don't have everything, but they pop up. So I have something that it says Woot daily deal, Amazon Kindle and Fire tablets, $14 to $16.99. Then it's everything is daily deal, app exclusive, daily deal, running shoes, um, different things. It could be different things. It's like a discount store on your phone, and it just pops up with daily things. When they run out, they run out. But it's connected to your Amazon account. So guess what? Easy to buy because if you got your Amazon set up, it just goes over there. So, but I was just thinking, good morning, Dr. Toddy. It just popped into my head, the Woot thing about doing everything online, and that's why we're here, because we have to talk about the process of getting your business online, which is easy to do. What is it? Oh, it's Woot, WOOT, Woot. And let me see real quick if I can pull it up. I think it's app only. I think I tried to look it up. Okay, yeah. Oh, it is on the desktop. Let me pull it up real quick so you guys can see Woot. And it's connected to Amazon. Amazon bought them. And it's daily deals and the little thing. I forget to go, but the little, notifications pop up and you go over there. And if it's something you need and it's a good price, you buy it. This is it. Woot. WOOT exclamation. So Amazon didn't discover, I think Amazon bought them. I'm not sure the back end part of it, but you log in with Amazon. It says, don't work to find the deals, let the deals find you. And they do. They find me because I'm not thinking about Woot. So they have different
Hmm.
things: home and kitchen, electronics, computers, tools and garden, sports and outdoors, some clothing, not a lot, t-shirts mostly, grocery and household, and then there's a clearance section. And you see there's a little scroll thing through here, garage sale. There's some Laneige products. So it's different things. It's not Amazon where you go, well, I need, something and you go and it's there. This is kind of garage sale, daily deals, and you buy
It's the
it. It's easy to buy.
it's the things that, and so instead of us getting the little newspaper, which, or the little, the ads that come to your mailbox with the paper that goes straight to the recycle bin,
Hmm.
um, you can get Woot pop up and
Yes.
find out what the deal of the day is.
Yes.
So it's less than Walmart. Well, this might be like Dollar Tree online.
So here's one. It's a $1 stuff starting soon right over here. WTF? That's right. So I'm like, well, what's the $1 stuff? So I tap it. I go over. If it's something I want, I buy it. So I'm bringing that up because, well, number one, it popped into my head for some reason. I was like, okay, I got to talk about Woot. But it's just the fact that everything is online. And I was talking to a neighbor, something, and we somehow the cash came up. I was like, I don't carry cash. I was like, I don't carry cash. I don't carry cash. I don't. If I go to the store and somebody needs a tip, I look at them and I go, well, I'm sorry. Yes, because I don't even look at those papers, straight to recycling. There you go. So I bring this up to say this is not the entire world. I know some people carry cash. I know some people still deal in cash only. I'm sorry to say that that is not going to be the way of things going in the future. Now, I've talked about Chinatown and how much I love to go, but I gotta go get cash. Chinatown does not do cards. If you're a
So then
tourist
you
and
have
you
to
go
go
there,
to so you have
they
to
don't do
go
cards.
to the unauthentic. Do you
Yeah,
all
go to
have
the
Panda?
ATM. Hmm?
Do you all have Panda Express?
Maybe in Jersey in the mall. That's a mall thing.
Oh, okay.
No,
See,
no.
because you can't get authentic
Right. So these,
Chinese
that's why we
food.
go to Chinatown because we get, I have a Chinese place up here, but that's just we call that cheap Chinese. I mean,
Okay. See,
I need a quick whatever fried rice or whatever. But if I want real authentic, like you said, the people that live in Queens, they all live in Queens. They have restaurants downtown, and they are moving a little bit. Chinatown is also moving to Jamaica, Queens, that area out there, but it's way out for me. But if I go to Chinatown, most of these places are cash only. And I've been places. I was like, oh I mean, I've never thought about it because when I used to work downtown, I had cash. I mean, I would have cash, but now I'm like, well, if I can't use my card, I'm upset. So, so go to China. Have a favorite bakery. I go there and I was like, "Oh, you guys don't take cards?" She was like, "No." And the place that did take cards, I wasn't happy with the the product. That it was more new school versus old school. If you know what I'm saying? Like the people that they're they come over 3 o'clock in the morning and they make that broth from bones and they all the things that they do authentically, which tastes so good. But
but
they
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 only take
don't they
cash.
don't take cards.
And people don't realize how much revenue they're missing out on.
Yeah, that's true. That was my thing. And I've had a discussion with it with friends and family, and they were like, well, they don't want to pay the merchant. There's a merchant fee that goes along with taking a card.
Okay, so
Most
up the
merchants
price on the
eat it.
food.
Yeah, most
Up the
merchants eat
price
it
on the
or
food.
yes, but I don't know what it is. We're talking this is what I'm saying about the old school versus new school versus the way we do things now, the way business is done now. Dr. Tachi says all these places need to start taking cards. Yes, I agree 100%, but they will not because they, again, these are older folks. They've been, down there. Their restaurant is whatever years old. They've been taking cash. They don't want to eat that merchant fee. I
And
agree. Agree.
the merchant fee is the cost of doing business. It really is. Okay. China
Yes,
is
China
cashless.
itself is cashless, but over here they're like,
And they, because they really think cash is king. Um, and then we have people who are with the signs,
yes.
and they still want. I'm like, y'all are getting slim pickings because people but driving by. You should have your Cash App or
Mhm.
your
If
Venmo or
you
something up there because we
yes,
are
if
not doing.
yes, if you're thinking about, and this is what I'm saying, thinking about how the world works now, not 100% adoption. I'm not saying it's 100%. I'm saying that's where it's going. So do you want to be caught out, you know, the waves coming, but you didn't prepare? You want to prepare. So this is one of the things that I argue about. I love Chinatown. I'm like, okay, well, we got to go to the bank and get this, and cash. And I'm like, oh my God, cash is such inconvenient. But that's how some people do things. So that's what I'm saying, that it's different. And there's some that resist it and some that embrace it.
Mm,
That's what I mean. So I was thinking about the Woot and it popped up because like, well, things pop up and I'm just mindlessly okay, boop, and buy it and it comes to my door. It's a great thing. So I know some people don't appreciate that, but that's where it is. And I'm saying this because I just remembered a story. I think something about a mall. I was reading something about malls and the malls closing. Oh, I know what it was. I think it was either Macy's is closing like a bunch of, because Macy's is an anchor store in the mall, but they're
mhm.
closing all the locations. I was reading the story. And then people were saying about, the people that own the mall or live in a small town, they want that mall to survive. And I'm like, it can't survive because that's not how we live. That's not how people live. We want to we want convenience, right? I'm just this is my opinion because I've gotten
Right,
used because of the pandemic for things to come to me.
right. Now, on the other end, here we have one mall. Most of the other malls in our area have shut down. And our main mall, which has the anchor store, was Nordstrom's.
Right,
So Nordstrom's decided to close this location and keep the one in Roseville and Rockland where there is more affluence out there, right?
right.
So here in Sacramento, we thought that okay, the mall's going down. However, you go out there, it's like Christmas in our mall because I think people use it as a way to go do something with the family or whatever. But not all stores are making it. So it
So
just depends on what today you're talking about the promise of value, but some
right.
you got to be bringing something that people gonna come into the
Yes,
store
yes.
to.
So
Yeah.
we have a mall. We had a mall. Dr. Tati says the mall's not convenient. You have to go deep inside to get what you want. Exactly. So that's what I was bringing up. We had a mall. Had It's called Manhattan Mall. Used to go there all the time. It was 33rd and 6th Avenue, Midtown. And they had great stuff. But this was way back when I worked in the office and we would shop there was shoe stores and this and that. But Manhattan Mall was our mall, like, the mall that everybody goes to in the suburbs and stuff like that. It doesn't exist anymore. The pandemic erased it. So the Wikipedia I'm looking up, it says as of mid 2022, the mall area functions primarily as an expanded lobby for the offices of 100 West 33rd Street. It's for the people that work in the building to come in. Lynn's Crafters is the only retail store remaining inside of the mall, and this mall had a whole bunch of stores. Cause I remember going shop. They had like a toy store, this and that, going shopping and everything. I think somebody needed a dress, and we went there. Yeah, you remember Manhattan Mall? Well, I haven't been over in that area in a while, but they're saying that it's there structurally, but there's nothing in there. I'm curious. I want to go in there and see.
And this is happening in a lot of major places in San
Yes,
Francisco too. San
yes.
Francisco ain't like it used to be. Uh, I
There,
think
there used to be
Pier
a
40.
area you would go and shop, right? And now because of different things, you don't do that.
Mm-mm. Pier 39 people, I think people still go there where you can go to Alcatraz and take a
Hmm.
ferry and do some stuff. But as far as mauling it and
Right.
Shopping and all of that. Mm-mm.
I'm not sure if this is article. Just real quick, I want to talk about Macy's because this is what put me in the mind of this. That Macy's was closing 150. No, not 150. 50 stores. It has a broader plan to shut down 150 unperforming stores across America, and that was because that was an anchor store. Macy's was an anchor store. Nordstrom was an anchor store. Target, anchor stores for the mall, which means I'm coming to Macy's as a consumer, and once I get there, let me go because it's on the outside. You park and you come in, and they have the outside doors, but you go in and there's an interior mall of smaller specialty stores. So that's why they called it an anchor store if you didn't know. So you would go for the one store, Target, and then you go, well, let me see, because you see the people walking and shopping and everything, and you're like, well, let me see what's here. And then you would see this store and that store, and you would go in and buy things. But that doesn't work that way anymore because no one's going to the Macy's. I don't need to go to
Mm-mm.
it. It's online. Or it's on my phone. So,
And
I mean, I
and the,
wanted to bring that up real quick.
one of the reasons for some of them shutting down is the recent snatch and grab situation.
Yes.
Well, you can't snatch and grab online.
Nope. Now, I'm not saying
So
shopping online is perfect. I'm just saying that that's where it's going. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm just saying that's
no,
where it's going.
and
So,
and
if
there this
everyone is online, what do you do?
well, get online. The stores are thinking about this because their costs are cut tremendously
Mm-hmm.
by
Yeah.
offering stuff online.
Right. Did we? I don't know if I put this up. Dr. Todd says the mall is not convenient. You have to go deep inside to get what you want. See, that's all I'm saying. This is the way
Yeah,
it's going.
this is the way. Okay, I'm not quoting
This is the way
no,
we're
was it
going.
Mandalorian?
This is where we're going. So if this is where we are going, where people don't stop shopping. And I said this during the pandemic when we were in the midst of it because we were still doing shows because we're online. It's easy to just click and you're online and we can reach who we need to reach. And I think Charlene and I was talking during that time and I was saying that I remember there was a bread store, a bakery here that was complaining that they had the best bread. I think it was on the Upper West Side somewhere, and they had customers, and they were and now the pandemic came, COVID, nobody went out, so they were complaining that nobody was buying their bread. I was like, well, people need bread. You got to figure out how to get the bread to them now. They're not coming to you. You have to go to them. And I got to
Yeah,
look that up and see
are
what it
they still
what
alive?
they probably are. Because if they had a robust clientele and everything before the shutdown, then they probably have it now. But I was saying that the owner was complaining about not selling the bread, but I was like, the demand for the bread didn't end.
Mm-mm.
We still needed groceries, right? What happened? Instacart, Amazon
And
Fresh
I
grew up.
right. And if you were smart, you would get connected with Instacart or Uber Eats or whoever else does delivery. Still make your bread 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
You could make your bread. You didn't have to stop making bread because I want bread. I don't want to come because of what's going on. So we live in a city where it's more not economical, but it's just better to have delivery guys. The little school, it used to be bikes, now it's the little scooters, and you got to watch out for them when you're crossing the street. But you got to figure out as a business owner, hey, I got to make this bread. Literally, I got to make this bread, not just have it in my bank account, but I got to make this bread. I know people want it because before COVID, they were just lining up to come in, lining up. And I said this
We're
before:
not
when you see a line in Manhattan, that's something good. Get in line. There's something good there.
we're not lining up for stuff anymore.
Not lining up. Um, and I'm thinking, well, there's people that need to work, bikes, whatever. Get your thing together. You don't have that, we had contactless, everything started. You figure out, get a new system is what I'm saying. Get a new system of the bread gets to the people that want it because they want it and they have money. I was thinking like, well, what's going on here? Oh, they're not coming in. The demand is still there. They have the money. You should, and I was saying before, when they were coming in, you should have gotten their email address. There you
Ding
go.
ding.
Everybody puts email down, and I'm like, no, no, no. You should get their email because it's a point of contact. You don't know if that person's gonna come back, but if you have their email address, you could send them a hey, come get buy a get one free, or come get a free, or it's September, back to school, Labor Day, come and get a free something. You gotta, it's fishing. Come on, reel them in. They want your bread. Reel them in. What's your fishing pole? Email address. If you don't have the email address, you don't have the fishing pole. Can you get fish out of you can, bears do it all the time, but do you want to do that?
It's a little difficult.
Bears and birds, they gotta dive in, and bears gotta look in there and swipe around. Do you want to do that, or do you want a fishing pole? I'll take the fishing pole. Me personally, but
so you need to get them on the list.
Yes,
Get them on your list.
You entice them by giving them something. A freebie, a buy one, get one free. It's their birth. You get their email and ask for their birthday, not date, not the whole day, July, whatever. And on that date, they get an email. Happy birthday, so and so. Make it personal. Because that means you get their name on first name. You don't need the whole name, first name, because that when you personalize the email. If it's my birthday and I see a happy birthday, Terry, come in and get a free something because it's your birthday. Well, hey, let me see. Where is it? I might come over there if I'm on that area. What, you see how that works?
Yep.
If you're not top of mind, I'm not thinking about you. Email is to get top of mind with someone who's bought from you. You don't have to do all of the new customer stuff or introduce yourself or explain what you do. They bought from you. Keep the connection. See? Now, this got me off track because this is not what I meant about promise of value, but this is kind of the promise of value. Because the promise of value, what I really was going to say is about your value proposition, which this is a part of it. So let me tell you about value proposition, because I know some people may not know. So I have to give you the definition. This is not officially definition, but I want you to get the gist of it. So your value proposition, clearly communicate the unique value your brand offers. You're going to highlight how your products or services solve a problem or meet a need for your audience. Because when you started, you know your target audience. You know them. You're supposed to know that. That's the beginning. Because how else are you going to give them content, serve them what they need, talk to them, find out all of those things? It's a shot in the dark if you don't know anything about them. Right? But once you do, what is the unique value? Unique. It has to be unique. It has to be different from your competitors. Let me see. What else I want to say? So I got on this because, again, the whole Instagram thing, something has changed again. I think we mentioned on Friday about the views. I forgot what it was. They're changing reach to views or something in the app. And then I saw something this week about people saying Instagram has changed again. And I'm like, la, la, la. I'm so tired of it. You have got to figure out. And I wrote it down because I'm forgetting. Where is it? Oh, you have got to figure out how to capture the attention of your audience. That's Instagram. That's social media. That's whatever. You're not getting their attention. They're not seeing your posts. Why? Instagram is trying to give your post out. It serves it out, but it serves something that wasn't valuable, wasn't unique. I always go back to that comment that I read. The person said, "Well, my I asked my friend if they saw my post, and they said no, I don't see the post." And I said, "Well, that's because your friend isn't liking anything on your account. They're just a follower, but they haven't gone in and liked your stuff. Because once you do that, it's been proven, Facebook and Instagram. Once you like somebody's post on Facebook, when you go back in, what do you see when you go back in? Another post from that person."
Yeah, you do.
And here's the complaint. I've seen people go, "Well, it's something 5 days old, a week old." But Facebook shows it to you because it's saying, "Hey, the last time you were here, you liked this." So it must be something unique and valuable. So I'm thinking, what is the disconnect with, especially with Instagram, is that people are you're not making anything unique. You're not making anything that stands out. Like I said about the email, you get the name too, because when you don't say happy birthday, that's generic. You say happy birthday name, and in your email system, there's a placeholder for name and gets it from the database because you collected it when you got the email. First name, email, nothing else. I see whenever I go to think, because I test people's links and bios and all the things that they ask for an email. I test it out. When I click on it and it says name, first name, last name, blah, 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 I don't fill it out because I'm like, all you need, initial contact.
Yep.
Hey, Jeff, what's your email address? Don't ask for anything else. Why? Because on the other side of the door, that's when you talk to them. What happens at a networking event or a convention or anything? Because the DNC is going on right now, so that's in my head. Hi, I'm so and so. Blah blah. You don't go into the details. What do you do?
Oh,
Or da 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 da, and then the conversation continues. You don't say, "Hi, I'm so and so, and I do this, and I live at that, and I done." You don't do that because some people are going to like, "No, I only wanted to know your name and say hi." But you
so and
say,
when are yeah,
uh,
and there it reminds you of the people. It's like, oh, hi, hi, and do all of that. And when we're getting married, hold on, back up.
back it up. It's a first date. It's an initial contact. It's a, "Hey, my name is." Why do
And
you think they used to have a little tag? That well, they probably still do. "Hello, my name is."
not to get the whole digit. You we don't need
"Hey,
your whole.
Nancy, how are you?" Hey, initial contact. Email is first name because when you want to do something personalized, because that's a part of unique content, personalized, you use the name. And people don't think about that. When you get email only, you're sending out generic emails, and I'm like, I can turn to the email. I have email addresses that I just use for this purpose, and I never check them. When it's something I really want to be connected to, I use the main email that I check all the time. Otherwise, and I love the Apple feature where you can hide my email.
I love that. Sometime I got to remember. Okay, wait, what? Oh, I use the Apple ID email,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Yep, you
you
got
got
to
to go back
remember.
in there. Yeah,
Yep. Firefox does it too. If you use the Firefox browser, they have something called, I think it's called Relay. I'm not sure the name. Relay is standing out to me where it does the same kind of thing. It gives you like 5 off of your main, and the person gets that, but it comes to your main. But what I'm saying is that you want initial contact to be, don't flood me with all this information going on the first day. "Hey, how are what's your goals? You want to get married? You want How many kids you want? Where do you want to live?" You don't do that kind of stuff on a first date because, like, whoa, wait a minute, we just this is just coffee or drinks or whatever. You're trying to get the whole world on one question and you can't. So this is what you do with the email. So You want that because that's your fishing pole. That's how you reel them back in. That's how you get the fish out of the lake, out of the pond. If you're in the ocean, you have a different kind of fishing rod. Is this making sense?
Yep, because the people need to want your stuff.
Yes. So I'm using this because of with content and making your content. And it was about the thing that got in my head was about struggling to capture your audience's attention, especially on Instagram. You may want to step back and look at your content and your messaging and how you are approaching things. Am I making generic content? Am I making specialty content? Am I doing personalization, which is a big thing? It wasn't before because it was like, oh man, I gotta make content. Now you got AI to help you make personalized content. Well, how do I make personalized content? Well, you got to know your audience. How do I know my audience? Well, guess what? You can go to your favorite tool and put that in there. You can even make it personalized to your website. Hopefully, you have one, or some of them will use your social media accounts. I really haven't dug into that right, but I've been testing it with websites, and it goes to your website, crawls your website, and says, "Well, hey, your audience is blah 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 blah, target audience, demographics, names, and age ranges, and what they." Let me see. I just did let me see real quick because I wanted to pull it up. I just was testing it the other day. I'm always testing it. Let me see. Okay, I got to get out of search real quick. Sorry, bear with me because I'm always in there testing stuff. And because it will, it can search the web, it will go to whatever website you put in and pull it up. Let me see. I've got so much stuff in here. I don't think I'll be able to find it because I did one the other day and it pulled up a whole bunch of. Let me see if I can. I'll do a search. Demographics, and I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute." Okay, if I do a search, sometimes it comes up. Mm, 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 mm. I'm sorry, guys.
I know
It just popped into my head to look at this. I didn't have it prepared. Hold on. Yes, I found it. Okay, so I was testing it. This is Chat GPT. And I was saying using my website for context. And I asked it something about creating engaging content or something. And then it started spinning out. Okay, hold on. Where is the um Oh, and then now in ChatGPT, it will give you the response, and then it will ask you two little questions will pop up at the end to keep you going with the conversation. So one of the things popped up. It said how to start. So I just clicked on. I didn't type it in. I just clicked on it because that's what came up at the bottom, and it says how do you start? Define your purpose, identify your goal, understand your brand mission, know your audience. And then it went, and then it said something. Hold on. Once it did that section, the next little pop up it was prompts that pop up. I didn't have to think of the next prompt. It comes up at the bottom, two little bubbles. One of the bubbles said persona template examples, and I was like, "Oh, what is that?" So I tapped on it, and it said it created a detailed persona. Below are examples that you could use as a starting point. And then it went in, it said name, e.g., Sarah Thompson, age 32, gender, female, location, San Francisco, occupation, marketing manager, income, 75K a year, education level, bachelor's degree in marketing, marital status, married, no children, interest in hobbies, yoga, reading, travel, photography, goals. Professional goal to become a senior marketing executive in the next 5 years. Personal goal to travel to at least three new countries each year. Challenges pain point. So it went into the thing that this persona, and a persona is just the representation. I always tell you to talk to one person that's in your target audience, like the main person that you're trying to reach with your products and services. That's what the persona is. So ChatGPT went through and made up one for me. Now I'm not saying that this is correct, but it's a starting point. So it came up with professional challenges, struggling to keep up with the latest digital marketing trends. Personal challenge, balancing a demanding job with personal interests. Preferred communication channels, social media, LinkedIn, Instagram, email, weekly newsletter, website, marketing blogs, online courses, buying behavior, motivators, quality and reviews, barriers, what's stopping them from buying, price sensitivity, time constraints. It also went down to key messages, what's important to them, e.g., efficiency and staying ahead in her career, how your product service can help, e.g., offering tools or resources that save time and enhance career growth. It made 3 of these for me. The next one was somebody named John Smith. And it went through the whole things I just listed. And then it did one more. It did 3 people. I didn't ask it to do that. All I said was the template. And it based it off of, because I started with my website. So instead of ChatGPT going out and getting generic persona stuff for a business base, I told it to start with me, my website. Or I'm going to try it with Instagram, like my social media. I'm going to see if can it look at my social media posts, or will it just look at anything that's connected to my brand online. I'm still testing it, but I was blown away. I mean, am I the only one that was like,
look, I'm about to reconsider. So you don't have to do it. It can pull, if you put all that somewhere, it can pull together your
because I
target
have the
audience.
website, right? I have the website, so I start with the website because I know it can crawl the website. I know it can go to the internet. And remember, the ChatGPT has the search. They have a search function now, like Google. So they're starting to
Yeah.
get into search. But what I'm saying is that I didn't. This is what I don't know if I brought this up before. I read a lot of articles now that 10 ChatGPT prompts to do, and they go act as a so and so, no, act as a experienced SEO. I'm like, I don't gotta do that. Social media, not social media. Sorry, it has evolved. All of these generative AI tools, they're growing because we're using them. So the Chat GPT of November 2023 is not the Chat GPT of was it November 2022 when it came out? I think 2022. That Chat GPT is a baby compared to the one that you're using today. Why?
Right.
Because it has a memory update. They keep updating the models. Why do they do that? Because every time we use it, it learns and it becomes better, faster, stronger. Who is that? Is that $6 million man? That just popped
Yeah.
in my head. Better, faster, stronger. Generative AI. That's just how it is. So when I read all of these articles, I saw one yesterday and I was like, nope, I'm not doing that. Simple is best. So let me go back and make sure. What did I type in exactly? I said using my website for context, creating an engaging story as an intro. So I had some text from another tool I use. I think it was Merlin. I forgot what it was. One of these tools that I'm using that talks to a website, and I tell it to the website. I say, "Give me the key summary." It spits out generic stuff. How do I know it's generic? Because it starts with, in today's fast-paced digital world, blah 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 blah. You can tell that is generic. And see, here's the key. And I saw this discussion online this week. How do you know somebody has used ChatGPT? Because they copy and paste exactly what comes out. Well, guess what? That's the generic version, and it comes out that same way for everybody. Unlock. There's a couple of words. Somebody put a list together that say use this list and tell it not to use these words, because if you see the word unlock, empower, there was a whole list. I was like, those are things that Chat GPT and other generic AI tools use, because you're asking it generic stuff. Give me 10 ideas for Instagram posts, and it's going to give you generic stuff that has nothing to do with it. You have to prime it with, this is me, website. I'm going to test the social media accounts. I haven't tested it yet, but I always test with the website. This is me. Use this only. Don't go out in the web and use everybody else's content. Use me, because I have a website that's how many years old, and I've written stuff. It may not be current. My stuff isn't current. I haven't made a blog post in a while, and I was like, I got to make a blog post. But ChatGPT went to my website and looked at what I had and got an idea and put things together that I can start with. So I got this persona template. I'm like, I got to dig into it. I think I did this. When did I do this? Because it'll tell me yesterday. Oh, I did this yesterday. Okay. I got so much stuff floating around testing. Um, so that's a part of it. That's a part of it, like the value proposition. And when I use these marketing terms and these business terms, you don't have to know, you don't have to remember a value proposition. Just remember the promise of value, what you bring, what you give to that one person that you're talking about. You have a I don't know who I'm talking to. Well, you should have a general idea, but you want to get more specific, you use the tools. Doesn't have to be ChatGPT. I'm going to try it in Copilot. I just haven't gotten around to it. Like I said, this was yesterday that I did this. And my mouth opened so wide. I was like, I didn't ask it for this. Why is it giving me all this stuff specific to marketing people? Because I started with use my website.com. Okay. Did you understand what this is?
This
Because the
is
generic stuff, you don't want to use it. And a lot of people, I see this also. Using AI, it just spits out generic. Yes, it does, because you asked it something generic. But if you train it on data that's yours, your blog post, your this, your that, your website. I'm going to test it with LinkedIn. I'm getting ready to test this thing. And you say, hey, make me, create a strategy, a content strategy for social media for me based on X. And it says, okay. And it pattern recognizes and reads and understands from that data set instead of the whole LLM. Remember, library, ChatGPT, generative AI goes to the library. The image side of this, text and image, they go to the Louvre, or they go to the museum, however it's been set up, and that's how they make your images. Which is why they're in the middle of there's some lawsuit going on. It's been going on for a while. The copyright issues, because a lot of artists are saying you're using my works without permission. So that's all mired in the court system. But while it's in the court system, guess what? Those images are being made. Midjourney, DALL-E, pick your poison, pick your tool, all of those things, because it's not creating out of thin air. Let's realize that it's not created out of thin air. It has to use data, a data subset, a library. So it's either a library of books or the museum. Text to text, text to image, pick whatever. Wow. But that's what's going on here. So does everybody get understanding what I'm saying? Like, I want to make sure that we're clear on this.
I think we're clear. You can do so much now to enhance your unique selling point.
Yes, that's it. Your unique self, because you want to have a unique point of providing value. Because why? Because there's all of the complaints, especially on Instagram, about nobody interacting with my content. Instagram must be doing something, and Instagram was like, no, I'm not. I'm showing I'm serving the content. Nobody wants, when you're at a party and the hors d'oeuvres come around, do you want the one that says foie gras, or do you want the one that looks like a shrimp and looks appetizing? I'm just saying. Do you want the celery with the peanut butter, or do you want the mushroom cast with the crab in it? That's all Instagram is doing, is serving what people want. So if your content is not being seen, hitting the mark, it's not moving, there are a couple of things. That's just one thing. That's just one thing I'm discovering. And I told you before that I've been doing stuff on Instagram, my Instagram testing, putting out and see what's happening. And I see that Instagram is not lying to us. It is serving to non-followers. But do they like what you're serving? You're at the party. The celery comes around. I don't want that. The hot wings come around. Oh, I want that. That's all I'm saying. Just think about it that way. Because for some reason, this one comment about my friend follows me and they said they don't see my content. I'm like, well, there's something going on here. And you blaming Instagram and saying they're gaslight. I read all the comments and I'm just like, okay, instead of sitting around going, do this, do that, figure out how to get your content to where it needs to be, because it's wanted. Going back to the bread analogy, the bakery before COVID, and they were like, oh, everybody wanted my bread. The distribution system was broken, and now nobody wants my bread. Not true. They want your bread. I'm just not coming to you. You got to come to me. So that's why I bring up the Chinatown thing about the cat. It's just, you have to look at the way it's coming, the way it's being distributed. And is it something I can fix? Well, yeah. You can use these tools that are out here, and most of them are free. Think about that. Copilot is free. ChatGPT is also free. There's a bunch. Google, I always forget about Gemini. Perplexity, Pi, Claude. I think there's one called Poe. There's a bunch of them. Now, how do I know? Because I'm always on YouTube. And once I watch one video about doing something, when I go back, there's somebody else or another video from that same person, and I fall down this rabbit hole of discovering, what's going on. So just a funny story real quick on the side I discovered today, because I've been seeing posts on Instagram about, what's it called? Very, shoot. Hold on. Let me look real quick. So I did a search. Did I do it on the computer or did I? All right. There's a trend going around where people are talking about very demure, very, I forgot what it was. And I'm like, what is that? Because I'm seeing it repeat. Hold on. Let me look at my, profile real quick, because I think I saved it. No, it's not here. Oh, yeah. Where'd it go? I'm sorry. I apologize. Because I wasn't going to talk about this. It just, here it is. Very mindful, very demure. So I've been on X, I've been on Instagram, I've been on Threads, and I see people say, oh, something very, very, very mindful, very something, very demure. I was like, well, what is that? It comes from TikTok. It's something that's trending now. It's kind of related to, if you remember a few weeks ago, they were saying Kamala is brat, something is brat, because this artist was on TikTok talking about their music and saying it's brat, and it means something. It doesn't mean brat like a kid that's bratty. It means something else. It means cool or whatever. But only Gen Z knows the talk. And I found out about the brat thing because they were talking about it on CNN, the older folks, and they didn't understand what it was. I was like, well, what does that mean, Kamala's brat? I was like, you guys don't get it. So and then what's funny is that Jizzy will look at this and go, just laugh because it's like, this is their language. But this is one of the other things that's coming up. Very Jameer. Let me get it right. Very mindful, very Jameer. So they've been making posts talking about different things, but I've been seeing it on Instagram and I'm just trying to figure out how to use it. But it's just one of those things that when you're online, you kind of see it. Oh, so I know Dr. Todd, you heard about it. So yes, the whole Jameer thing is stupidity. Yes, for us, because I was trying to understand how to use it, but for them, this is their language. This is Gen Z language, and it all comes from TikTok. So this came from some person that was talking about because they do a lot of get ready with me. You've seen that all get ready with me, and they're putting makeup and talking and but this is their language. So this one person was saying something about, oh, when they go for a job interview, something about the, and then it said very demure, very this, very that. So it kind of stuck. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I don't know. So the context we have told folks what brat means, you can deduce. Right. But see, the older folks aren't getting it because it was on, it's on YouTube somewhere, the CNN people see anchors and stuff were talking about it and they cannot understand why Gen Z connects with her so much, but she understands it. So that's why you see I watch a lot of her content online, especially TikTok, and if you're a certain age, you're not going to get it. It's going to go over your head, just like this Jameer thing goes over your head because it's not for us. But if you can get the context right, that's what I'm saying about making unique content. She's used some of these things. Well, not she. Her campaign has used some of these things because they know what it means and they know how to connect with the younger voters, which is something that the other side cannot do because I'm sorry, if you're a certain age, you're not going to get it. It sounds stupid. It's like, that's dumb. Why is it lime green and stupid? It's their time to have their language, just like we had our language. Just like during, hip hop and stuff, we had our language back then. So it's the same kind of thing. But I bring that up because that's just trends. That's just some of the things that when you see it, you kind of go, huh, what is that? So I've been seeing it all over this Jamura thing. I was trying to figure out, well, what the heck is that? I finally did a search and reeled it back and found that it's from TikTok, which I don't spend a lot of time on TikTok, but this is one of the things. This is one of the things that are this trend. And guess what? In a week or two, this will be dead and they'll move on to something else. But this is what I'm saying about your content. You don't have to really do this TikTok-y stuff, but you do have to do specialty content for your person, your persona. And ChatGPT gave me a template. I'm going to try this in Copilot just because I love to test things like this and just see what happens. But all of this is to say that you don't have to figure it out blindly or by yourself or get overwhelmed or I don't know, is this right? Is this that? At least it's a starting point. So now ChatGPT is giving me prompts from one result. I don't have to figure out what to ask it next. It gives me two options. I'm a tester. I click on one and I see what it. I was like, ooh, okay, I can live with this. This is something that I can copy and paste into one of my note taking whatevers. Take a look at it, study it, and digest it, and see how I can use that information. Right? Because, like I said, I just did this yesterday. I forgot I did it. But it stood out to me that I was like, this is not the ChatGPT from almost 2 years ago. It is totally changed, totally different, and you can use it for unique content based on where you start. Start with me, AI. Start with me, and you get more advice and more helpful strategy information to help you reach your target audience online and possibly win this thing with Instagram and try to get Instagram to show your content to more people. And like I said, you're at the party. I want the shrimp. I don't want the celery with the peanut butter on it. I want the shrimp. I want the hot wings. I want the good stuff. So, um, okay. Cause see, it's to me, it seems like I'm rambling in my head. I want to make sure that we're getting this straight.
I believe we are, because we can now create unique content for our website, for our persona online that does not sound like everybody else. It doesn't sound like Wix put it together
Right.
or anything.
Right.
It's us.
Right. Why? Because it's using you. It's using your words, your cadence, how you do it. So if you go out of that and just say, give me 10 content ideas for Instagram, well, it's going to give you 10 ideas. And you go, well, this stinks. This doesn't help me, because you didn't give it context. The website is used for context. The AI tools need a data set. Okay, so this always reminds me of the people in the beginning that's screaming about, oh, it's going to take over the world. It's going to this and that. I'm like, no, it needs data. If it doesn't get any data, it just sits there and it doesn't do anything. ChatGPT does not do anything until you type it in. So you have to give it data. Why not give it your data? Now, as I said before, testing. It's just an idea. When I'm reading stuff online and I'm reading this, I'm going, let me try this. Excuse me, because I read people that say AI is junk. It doesn't give you anything. I'm like, you're right. It is junk because you put junk in. There's a saying in tech, years and years: garbage in, garbage out. GIGO. We used it for use it in programming. You put junk in, you get junk out. So that's what it is. You put generic stuff in, you get generic stuff out. And the people that aren't using this properly, they straight copy and paste. It is all over the internet. It's all over social media. I'm like, that's a ChatGPT comment. That's a generative AI. Just like you can tell with the photographs. That's AI. They can't get their hands right. But oh baby, in a year, I'm afraid they're gonna get everything right. They can't. The eyes are wonky. The hands are wonky.
Yeah,
Once
they
they get
bad.
the hands are. Because I did something the other day, and I was like, I had to go in the camera and clean it up, try to get it. I was like, that's not. And I said, you know what? This is the best I'm gonna do, because it's going to get to the point where, fortunately, it's going to do those things for you. This is great for small business owners. Why? Because your costs of making content to connect with your audience lowered.
Hmm.
And here's another thing I'm thinking and working on. I'm sorry, influence marketing influencers. They're going to be put out of business. Influencers.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
Okay, it's
I'm
Tuesday,
saying in a
August
year.
20th. It's
It,
Tuesday, August 20th. You heard it. Mark the date. TJ, I'm seriously, because she has
I didn't
caused
want to say
so
it, but I'm like, if you know some influencers, and I do, I'm like, all that grinding and hustling you're doing, somebody like Pepsi and Nike and Procter and Gamble and whoever you're getting money from, they might continue to use influencers, but they're going to see these tools, and it's not happening soon. Why? Because of the legalities of it. I just brought it up
right.
about everything's in court, so corporate is not going to use any of these tools the way that we're using them, because they look at the legality of the copyright or the trademark issue. So they don't want to get caught up in that. But once these things work itself out in the courts, and another thing I'm going to say is, people think that it's going to that the going through the legal system, and it's not going to stop it. It's just determining who gets paid. and how much they get paid. I think they did that with ChatGPT and the authors. I think they're working that out. Well, how much do you guys? How much are we getting? Because you can't stop it. It's already there. It's already being used. It's already in the system, the books and
Right.
stuff. I mean, they can remove it, but
Somebody
it's
else
already
is going to
there.
get it. It's like, okay, so the Encyclopedia Britannica, when it went on the wall, you pulled the book off the shelf, that wasn't going to mean that somebody else is not going to copy it and
Hmm.
you let your uncle and them use it or whatever.
Right,
So information was going out without you.
right. It's like the books, like if you had a Xerox machine or a copy machine, just go over there and copy it. You're not supposed to, but who's stopping that person? You're not supposed to. I'm just
So,
saying, this is how things are going. So people are thinking, well, it's in the courts, and I was like, that's just determine how much they have to pay, how much OpenAI has to pay. That's all that's about.
mhm,
It's not gonna stop. They might some authors may say don't use mine at all, and OpenAI says okay, but some of that stuff is already out. We can't pull that back. Here's your compensation. And some authors may say, okay, you can use it in a limited fashion, and you pay me royalties of XYZ. And OpenAI says okay, because they need data. That's why the New York Times is pulled, they have things now where they say, oh, you can't scrape our website or you can't do that. And OpenAI says, okay. There's all these little layers of things happening in the court system, legal with copyright and trademark and AI, but it's not going to stop the train. It just, well, how much do we have to pay you guys?
right.
And remember, that OpenAI has the partnership with Microsoft, so the money's there. They're just figuring out how much we got to pay this person, that person. So, um, this I'm just just stuff that I read that I'm picking up and I'm seeing where it's going. It's just that the legal part of this is slowing it down. But if a small business can, instead of paying an influencer or whatever to make the content that I need talking about my product or service, I can go to this tool, that tool, this tool, that tool, which is going to be real easy, and say, I need a mom and daughter in the kitchen, modern kitchen, cooking an Italian meal because I'm is it Barilla pasta maker, and I don't want to figure out, or I don't want to trust my product in the hands of somebody that's going to make content that is not appropriate. And that's happened also where, some brands have gone in with influencers. I'm thinking, is it Mr. Beast? Somebody that it came out, one of these influencers that came out that in the past that their tweets or they had said something anti-Semitic, Semitic, or they said something when they were young, but
Mhm.
now they're working with the brand, and the brand's like, that's not cool. We don't want to be associated with that. So guess what? Instead of me trying to figure out the influencer and are they going to do something that wrecks my brand, I can go over here to AI and make something that's going to fit what I want, what I need, and it's not a person. And guess what? And you could say, well, it's not a person, it's not real. We're not there yet. Once all of this happens, because of I'm thinking the word is assimilation. There's some word where you get used when you see something over and over, you get used to it so it doesn't shock you or stand out anymore.
Uh, yeah.
Is it assimilation? I'm
It
trying
is
to
some,
remember. That's gonna happen.
yeah. Well, it becomes just mainstream, and it's like, oh, like the four-letter words in movies are just like, who cares anymore?
And I say this, and I wasn't ready to talk about this, but I real quick. Let me show you something that I've been working on. I'm gonna show it to you. Can you guys tell me about this photo? And this is not one of the good ones. that I've done.
That is not bad.
I've got better. This is just one that the first one that I found. So I'm a blogger, a food maker, I'm craft, I'm whoever. And I got a new product that I want to sell to this demo. Do I go out and find somebody and vet them and get
Or
the
find
set,
out and have them, what is that, sign off on talent release and blah, 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 blah.
find the set, find a director, get the lighting, get the this, get the that? Or do I
Or
do
you
this?
just call it up on your.
Or do I do this? I'm
The
just
food looks
saying.
good too.
Oh wait, I got another. Let me show you. These are not the good ones. These are just I've got some even better. I'm just saying. I'm just
Uh,
letting you know.
Dr. Tachi said the word is desensitized.
Desensitized. Yes, that thank you. Okay, this one.
Okay, this one is not bad because their hands ain't crazy.
I got some that are even better than this. But this is what I want you to see. I don't have to. I'm a brand. I'm a corporation. I might have a department that goes out and finds the influencer. But why do I have to do that when I can get a tool that I already have that's free, or I have the enterprise version because we paid for it, and I get somebody that knows how to put the correct prompt in? And she's selling my meal.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying. That's it. I mean, this can be scary, but it can be good. As I said, for a small business solopreneur. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Tati. Um, again, these are there are tools out there all the time. Thank goodness there are people on YouTube that are making a point. I got one more I want to show you. I don't know. Do you want to see one more? Do we have time?
Yes, we got time. We're
Okay.
not.
Okay.
Look,
Okay. I'm just making sure because I'm like, this is the thing that I'm doing. I'm like, oh, so I want to show you, but like, baby, you guys don't want to see it. Okay. What do you think of this one? Now look at the hands. Now this one is not one of the great ones, the hands, but you can. There are some tools where you can fix the hands, but again, I can work on this until I get reality. In a year, I won't have to spend as much time with the prompt or doing it over and over. It's going to give me exactly what I want. So that's why I said, do I hire an influencer or do? And then this one I thought was a little too low cut, but it's that's just little. This is what it spits out. I didn't adjust anything.
right.
Hold on, let me remove that. I think I got rid of some of them because it's starting to eat up my hard drive. I was like, I got too much stuff here, so I had to offload on the cloud. But I wasn't planning on showing that. It just was okay. Let me give you an idea. Let me give you one more.
Dr. Todd, she said it looks great except for the alien hands.
Right,
And
that's one of the bad. Oh no, remove. That's not it. That's one of the bad ones. I have some that's better. I can't. I wasn't planning on showing it, so I didn't really dig it up. I'm just going do it real quick on my hard drive because again, I have to remove. Did I put this one up? Did I put this one up? Okay.
no.
All right. So that one, I was like, ooh, but the hands. I look at I look at eyes and hands, but look at the background, the blurriness, the
The bokeh.
Instagrammy of this.
They did
So
the bokeh. The kitchen was looking good, and
yeah.
tomatoes were
So
chopped correctly or sliced or
I
whatever.
had more. It was just an idea of what I want to do. And if you follow my Instagram, I put one up yesterday where I'm starting to do the social media updates. When I was like, I should have put it up earlier, but I put it up I did a story about Meta, and those are all the images I use from Firefly. When I'm in Firefly and I'm just playing around and something comes out good, Thank you, Dr. Tachi. When something comes out great, and I'm like, I might be able to use that, I save it. And then some of the ones that aren't coming out perfect, I still save it because I can go into Canva, and Canva has tools like Magic Grab and Erase, and so you can grab things and move them around. And I'm just sitting there going, "Oh my goodness!" I'm looking at it as I look at it from the lens. I look at social media from the lens of the business owner, the solopreneur, the person that doesn't have a big corporate budget, a big ad budget for things. How do I stand out? How do I grab the attention? How do I provide the value, the promise of value of giving my audience what they want? Because that's the key to this. It's not the algorithm. Oh, the algorithm. Oh, they're throttling me, they're shadow banning me, all of those words. You're stopping me. No. Instagram is at a party serving people what they want. Hey, let's try this. Celery with peanut butter. Hey, let's try this. Hot wings, shrimp, the good stuff. Well, that's gonna go because that's what people want. So that's what you gotta think about your content. And not people. What does my audience, my target audience, my specific one person that the AI tool will give you the template of who is your person? Well, I just read what it did when I tested it on my website. And I'm like, I'm gonna look at that and say, okay, there's some tidbits in here. There's some good stuff I can use that's going to help me. See? And you could do the same thing too. All I'm saying is I'm not doing anything special. You just go in. It's because the tools have evolved to where you can provide the starting point of my website. Or I'm going to go into social media because a lot of people do stuff on social media and they don't have the website. And I'm looking at it going, okay, where if I use this as the starting point, does it pull the appropriate information? Does it package it right to where we can use it as business owners? So this is where it's going.
Mm-hmm. Tasty. Now you're making me want to jump in there and go play with some stuff. And I
Yeah.
love this because once you understand who your target audience is,
Mm-hmm.
once you understand your unique proposition or selling point, now you can craft your materials
Yes.
about what you offer using Chat GPT and find
Mm-hmm.
imagery to go with it so you can put out. We have no excuse, jumping uh topics, we have no
Mm-hmm.
excuse of why we can't put out good content right now.
Right. And then you do this and you test it and then you discover what works. Why? Because of analytics. That's how you know, well, let me A B test, try one, try this, try that. It's not about when nobody liked it. I'm not concerned with that. I'm not concerned with how many went and liked my Instagram. I'm concerned with the analytics of what percentage did Instagram show this to non-followers? And what did the non-followers do when they saw this? Did they go and do some things? Good. Did they not do anything? Okay, so that means that didn't work. Let me go back and test again. Now, it doesn't have to be a whole production. Like I said, the tools, it takes a second to make an image. It takes a second to get the caption to go with it. I know because that's how I do it. It takes a second. I'm just not posting it because something has stopped me, or I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do that. That's the only reason why I'm not posting more is because I got to, you got to do this, that, and that. But you put it up and you say, hey, they like this. This is shrimp and hot wings. They don't like this. This is celery on the peanut butter. I'm just saying, when you're at a party, what do you gravitate towards? You're at a barbecue. What do you go towards? Is it the vegan hot dog, or is it the ribs? And you apply that to content, your content strategy, content marketing. And it's not just Instagram. I bring up Instagram as an example because that's the place where everybody is complaining the most. But this will work everywhere else depending on the platform and how they serve the content.
Wow.
Okay. And that's it. That's what I have for you today. I mean, I know it was to me, I felt like because things are popping up in my head that I'm like, okay, let's say that, which I'm not thinking about when I'm making my notes because it's more straightforward when I'm doing the notes, and then when I start talking, things just pop up. I'm like, oh, let's talk about this and put it in. So I just want to make sure that we're clear with the line of what we're doing,
I
especially in
think so.
content. Okay.
We really don't have an excuse.
Right, because this is one of the things that I know that is bothering a lot of people is that I make content and nothing happens. I make content and there's 5 likes, but there's 5 likes. It could be 0. Or I'm on YouTube and my video only got 50 people or whatever that number is. You have to also think about the time, and this was another thing that people brought up. Remember, it's the time of year, summertime. A lot of people aren't doing things online because their attention is somewhere else. Or if it's YouTube or if it's this or that, think about how the content gets served. YouTube content gets served all the time. It's hot wings all the time. It's just that are the people there to pick up? Are they at the barbecue? They may be somewhere else at the movies, and then they come to the barbecue, and then they see. That's what I'm trying. I'm trying to get you guys to understand. It's just about being open 24 hours a day, and you got a buffet. What do you put out? You know what sells. You know what doesn't sell. So depending on the time of day and what you want to do and what you want to happen, you know where to put things appropriately. That's your content marketing strategy right there today. Why? Because they keep moving the cheese. That's Fran's thing that she said. They keep moving the cheese. And they're going to continue to keep moving the cheese. But what are you going to do? You're going to sit here and complain about them moving the cheese, or are you going to move with it? That's it, and that's all.
Wow. Okay, I know you got something from this, right?
I hope
Something for
so.
you to go home and apply, go look up, go do some study, do a little research, find out and get your unique proposition together.
Yeah.
So
And
that
I bring all of this up because I know that people go and search Google or search this and that, and they get stuff from 2018, 2019, 2020 that says, oh, for engagement, you just do this, you just do that. And I'm like, it doesn't work that way anymore. We've got a different key now to open the door. They keep changing the locks. Instagram changes the lock like every week, seems like. But you got to know what to do. That's what this is about. What to do.
and that's why we're here, to
Yes.
help you get to know what to do and then help you do it. And so if you need to be reaching out to TJ, make sure you get on her email list so she can keep you up to date
Yeah.
with the latest trends, the latest techniques, and
Yeah.
things like today, which was very crucial. And you can have 2025 be rocking and rolling because you tweak some stuff.
Yes. Yes. This is about tweaking. I'm always tweaking, like the Terry Johnson online.com/info. I'm always tweaking, like, where's the best place for it to go, what to do. So that's why I keep this one URL, because it may go to different places next week when I decide, okay, well, maybe we need to, but that's just me testing. So that's what I'm saying. You have to test. And I know that you don't have the time for it as a busy business owner, but just a small tweak. Don't spend hours on this. Don't spend hours on that. And then you get frustrated because it doesn't work. Put it out there. Put your bait in and nothing happening. Okay, well, let's move to a different spot. But these are the
Yeah.
things we have to do to keep, the cheese is moving. Cheese is moving.
Right. And we're going to keep moving and be like, okay, well, I need to be over here. We always pivot.
Yes. Pivot.
Always do what you got to do. So
Yeah.
we appreciate you taking your time being here today. TJ will be back next week on Tuesday and on this Friday for Tech Life Weekly. She'll be bringing the news updates for social media and digital marketing. And that's always interesting because we learn about new apps. We learn about what's going away. We're learning about the trends. And here you get to learn practical applications like you heard today. So make sure you're following TJ everywhere. And if you're not a part of the Bizchicks community, we encourage you to become a part. You can get on the Bizchicks list, text biz to 33777, or you can go to bizchicks.net and get signed up there. It is free for you to do so. And we
And
want,
let me say real quick about join. And when you join the text list, it's not, you're not bombarded with stuff. I just love that it just pops up. Boop. I'm like, okay, because that way you get the attention instead of people thinking I got your text, I got you on my text list. I'm going to keep texting you, and that's an annoyance. Don't do that. So this chicks, it just pops up with important stuff when it needs to pop up.
right. You'll be like, oh, I ain't heard from Bizchicks in a minute.
Yeah.
We only talk when we got something to say.
Right. And see, people think, well, I got your number, I'm just going to constantly buzz you with stuff. And that's a good way to people to say stop or unsubscribe, which you don't want.
And then it goes for email. And
yes,
if you keep bugging people, like I bought the shoes from the store, I don't need coupon every month, every week, or every day. Stop sending me coupon. I already bought a pair of shoes.
There you go.
So we won't do that to you.
Agreed. So I'm just saying, if you get on the text list here, it's not going to be things popping up on, no. It's like, oh, Bizchicks.
Yeah, it'll be something you want to know about, or something that is going to be a benefit to you. But we're not going to be here just
right.
We're here to help you take the hassle out of your hustle, and
there we can go.
That's why we do this, and we want you to be able to assist people and keep your customers coming back and keep them engaged with you. So that's why we do this. Coach Karen will be here tomorrow talking money, market, how to bring in profits every day.
Yeah.
With our money mindsets. Robin will be on Thursday talking about happy, healthy habits. And again, we will be back here on Friday talking tech.
Yep.
Yes. So thank you again. And make sure to have a great rest of your week. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Put your questions in the chat.
Yes, put your questions there.
Okay. Bye-bye.